Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years. What we did agree on was to restart communications.
And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask,
why wouldn't we?
Well, hell has frozen over because MSDNC's The Morning Joe, Mika and Joe, have decided to meet with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago to discuss politics and to find some common ground. And of course, legacy media outlets are not happy. In fact, they're losing their ever-loving minds, and I'm here for it.
Are you talking?
well,
Okay.
look, the bottom line is that America needs a free press that is willing to speak truth to power right now, more than ever. And I think that we have to be very clear-eyed when we think about the president-elect and cover the president-elect. And I don't think you need to sit down for 90 minutes at Mar-a-Lago and kiss his ring. Trump is the guy who ushered in the era of fake news.
You mean he was the guy that actually challenged legacy media, who only had one narrative against him for, 8 straight years, that peddled lies like the Russiagate lie that he somehow worked with Putin to overturn the election in 2016, which has now been proven to be false, that you guys on your network have never actually apologized for? Oh, that fake news? Yeah.
He is the guy who ushered in alternative facts.
Alternative facts. Oh, you mean like comparing Donald Trump to Hitler for all 4 years? Like that? Or how about during this election season when Tony Hinchcliffe, a comedian, said a joke and you guys claimed that that person's joke was his actual statement, and not only was it his statement, but it also was Donald Trump's feelings? Those alternative facts? Or how about the fact that the rally at Madison Square Garden was no different than a Hitler rally back in the 1930s? I'm curious, Sonny, were those alternative facts?
He is the guy who attacked 3 black female journalists.
So he criticized 3 journalists who happened to be black in the same way that he criticized other journalists who were white and male. But of course, that doesn't fit the racist narrative, so we'll just, forget that part.
And so I think that this president-elect, I hate to say it.
Oh, you hate to call him president-elect? Whoa, sadly for you, I'm feeling petty. Remix!
This president-elect, this president-elect, this president-elect, president-elect, would like nothing more than to have only Fox News cover him, would like nothing more than a state-sponsored media. And I don't think he can be trusted in the way that other presidents can be trusted.
State-sponsored media would be media telling us that Joe Biden was perfectly fine for months and months and months, and then once he drops out, you guys tell us that it was by choice. That would be state-sponsored television. The type of television that tells us that Kamala Harris was the best thing since sliced bread, even though her approval ratings were in the tanks. But yes, please tell us how neutral you guys are.
This is an aberration.
But the reality is he doesn't just have Fox News. He didn't do a lot of mainstream media this election, but he went on Joe Rogan and reached 50 million people.
Which was something Kamala Harris was way too scared to do because God forbid she talks off the cuff for 3 hours straight and has to give real answers. God forbid.
Yeah. None of us could talk to Donald Trump again. No mainstream legacy media could. And he's still going to reach the vast majority of this country. So I actually think extremely highly of both Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. I don't think this is opportunistic. I don't think that this is a judgment on their character. I think they recognize 75 million people voted for this guy. He will be in power short of something, an impeachment for the next 4 years. So where can we make some changes on the margin?
Now, in case you're wondering, here's just a little snippet of what The Morning Joe has been saying about Donald Trump for the past, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
The retweeting of neo-Nazi videos, Charlottesville. I could go on and on. What he said about majority black countries. That is tearing more at the fabric of America than attacks on the Twin Towers did. We rebuilt from that. We became stronger because of that. But this seems to me a far graver threat to the idea of America.
If Republicans continue this line of thinking, if they continue their support for Donald Trump, they needn't fool themselves. A second Trump administration would destroy the Department of Justice, would destroy the FBI.
This is not a reach. I could go back and talk about Nazi Germany, and I do it without any concerns whatsoever. And if people can't start drawing the parallels, well, you're just stupid, or you have your head in the sand, or you're one of them. When you look at a Republican nominee, a potential Republican nominee that's talking about terminating the Constitution, he said, terminate the Constitution, arrest political opponents using the Justice Department, assassinate generals that weren't sufficiently politically loyal to him, saying that he was going to take the FCC and bring it in to the White House, and he would decide what networks were on and what networks were not on.
Yeah. So here's my take on the Morning Joe, Mika and Joe meeting with Donald Trump. They're full of crap. And here's why. This has nothing to do with them churning over a new leaf or wanting to meet Donald Trump halfway or even extending an olive branch. This is about them looking at the map and realizing, holy crap, our ratings are very, very low. All the crap we were spewing for months and months and months, people were not buying. And now our viewership is lower. Our credibility is in the tanks. Donald Trump does have a referendum because he got majority of the votes and he won demographics that we did not think he was going to win. So we need to pull those people in. We need those viewers watching us. And if we have to be buddy-buddy with Donald Trump now, if we have to meet up with him now to give the impression that we're willing to meet him halfway so we can get your viewership, then that's exactly what we're gonna do. They're full of crap, okay? They are part of legacy media. They are the state television that Sunny Hostin calls Fox News. State television is what we see on the left, which is a constant push of leftist values and a complete biased position that they unapologetically hold on to because they once were the majority. Now they're realizing they're not. Now they're realizing that majority of viewers are watching Joe Rogan and independent media, and they are no longer watching MSDNC and CNN. So I'm not buying it. I mean, call me a cynic. Fine, call me a cynic. But I just don't believe that their motives are pure. I think that they are looking at an opportunity to try and regain viewership. And they're hoping that the people who hear about this, who weren't watching them, will say, maybe I should watch Morning Joe now. Yeah, not gonna happen. And here's the backside to that, right? People like me are not gonna start watching all of a sudden. So it ain't gonna happen. And the people who were watching are now pissed off. Now they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Traitors, how dare you? I'm never watching again. Fire them. I mean, I'm reading the comments on their video on YouTube, and people are pissed off. Like boycott, boycott, boycott. So this is just a lame attempt by MSDNC and liberal media to try and regain viewership, to try and regain something that can spark people to watch their stations again and to trust them again. Ain't gonna happen. Legacy media lost credibility when they started calling Donald Trump a fascist and Hitler. You kind of lose everyone when you do that 24/7, nonstop on your stations. Sorry. So you can meet with Donald Trump all you want. It's not going to change the minds of people who already have integrity. And any person with integrity is not going to start watching Morning Joe because they decided on a whim to meet up with Donald Trump shortly after calling him Hitler and a fascist for 4 years straight. But hey, you got an A for effort. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of this video. Do you think that Joe and Mika's intentions are pure, or is it purely we need ratings? Let me know what you guys think down below. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Until next time, peace.